we go. Hello and welcome to Would You Waifu, the talk show where we talk about monsters of all shapes, sizes, and species, and discuss things like the biology, culture, and whatnot of our weekly monster. Me on the right, host of the channel. Hi, I'm Scamper Blaze. The person on the left, a Blackout, my usual co-host. And today we're also joined by the one in the middle, Sneeze Love. And Sky the Shadow Warlock. Let's be honest, we're all just a bunch of idiots with stupid headcanons and even stupider arguments. Hey, we have to do a little disclaimer. We are not responsible. But and spirits. Oh, we should have made that joke last time. Oh, missed opportunity. Oh well. Depends on the element. Yeah. Basically. I do have one question just before we begin. Are we counting dryads as elementals, or are we considering those plantkin? Alright. Just making sure if... Yeah, I was just making sure, just to whittle it down a little. Yeah, unless... Yeah, honestly, realistically speaking, if it's purely the element, there's gonna be difficulties. Pure elemental. So basically pure human, hybrid, or pure elemental. I am fine with most of them. Acceptable. Okay, so we're definitely counting like Genasi levels, right? They are basically what happens if you waifu an elemental. Oh, are we talking about like the fire giants and the frost giants? Yeah, fair. Yes. I accept settling for hybrids here. Mm-hmm. Fire definitely has a higher body temperature. Air would probably have the lowest BMI. Okay. If as soon as we gonna start about the metals, we have to talk about robots again, and no, not in the mood for that. Yeah, I vote we limit it to the four classical elements of alchemy: earth, fire, air, and water. Hmm? No, that's the eastern elements. That is metal, earth, wood, water, and fire. Western alchemy, like the French used to make. Yeah. Spider-Man. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Uh, okay. Uh, I actually would like to use a specific game as example here. Golden Sun, specific, specifically the 3DS version, because the graphics there made all the Jin look completely different and unique. But there were like different aspects of the wind. Like air, there was one that was just had like winged ears and was sleek designed, but there was also one that was just round because it represented a balloon. So I do think that variety wise, elementals are gonna be definitely in the top three of potential variety. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, could you elaborate that bit? Sure. Do I have to whip out the furry skill again? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, okay. Yeah, they have glowing organs. I have definitely seen that. I've definitely seen that aspect done multiple times. Uh, okay, so based on how much power, how visible their elemental aspect is. So, thinner blood would be basically more human. Okay, yeah, acceptable terms. Okay, so if we're gonna if we're gonna group up them in the four basic elements, what is the order we shall go in? Ah, so that means that we're Alright, alright. Wait, I thought we were gonna start with water. Water, earth, fire, air. Alright. Okay. Uh, before we actually go, I do want to ask a couple more general questions. Yeah. So, are they born of the element themselves, or do they just have to be near a good source of said element? Like Earth has to probably be either underground or in the desert, while a water one could be in a river, ocean, or lake. Okay. Okay. Ah, yes. How if they cluster up, you kind of get a chain reaction. The more it pulls up, the more will form. The more will form, more will cluster up. Okay. Okay. I love it. And now we're also joined by Lava Man. But what do we mean? Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anyways. Yeah. We have kind of decided we're just gonna focus on the four basic elements. Being, yeah. Yes. moisture, breeze, pebbles, and spice. We were. Anyways, we were kind of just going over some general do bits, like what their habitat would be. They do need their respectable elements to both be born and to live there. Uh, but do they actually create their own element, or do they just manipulate it to a high degree? The hybrids, yes. But we will just refer to them as elementals, because that is what we're talking about. But our elementals are basically hybrids between waifu and the element. Yeah. All right. Sounds about fair. Mm-hmm. Aha. Okay. I mean, I kind of knew that because one of the famous creatures of fiction, jinns, are actually in Arabic mythology neutral aligned fire spirits. Yeah. I mean, we kind of probably are gonna once we get to fire. Yeah, but that actually does bring up a question that I also was going to ask just in general about elementals. Are they like born organic and get more attuned to elementals, or do they become come from the elements? Yeah, because since we are going with hybrids, it kind of makes sense that if they become from organic to elements, then it would actually make sense that there are lower class ones. Like, by some, they just awaken like glow in the dark eyes, while others become like human versions of Ponyta. So it would make sense that if they are born, or that they are born, quote unquote, fully organic and then just mature into their elemental power. Anyone has a... Okay. That they're able to manifest into physical forms. I'm okay with both aspects, but I think for our version of elementals, maturing into the element. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is still something you have to put in effort into a tune, so just a cultivation type thing. But anyways, before we stumble too long, before we go into water, I have one question. Because we went from human going into elemental, do we consider the moon water or earth? Ah, okay. In that case, Sokka's ex-girlfriend is a water elemental. Fair enough. That's why I was asking. Yeah, we'll do that once we get to culture. Anyway, water. This is, well, I put the water logo underneath myself for a reason. It is my favorite element. In my opinion, and I am gonna be biased, I do... Which is fair. I could not find the Genshin symbol for Abyss, okay? Exactly. Anyways, as I was gonna say, I do think that water is gonna be the most versatile because out of all the elements, it is the one we know the most, or at least are the most familiar with all stages of it. Gas, liquid, and solid. I said gas already. Ah, no worries. Well, I do think that water elementals would mostly be steered towards fresh water compared to salt water, since that is a whole nother chemical compound. Also, yesn't. Also, because when I said we're going to talk about elements, a lot of people went like, "Get me in." That's why there's so many, Cortez. Also, hello there. But the reason why I think... Yeah. But... Can I continue on my water rant, or... No, no problems. Just making sure. So why I think that the moist elementals would steer more towards fresh water compared to salt water is because in salt water there is a lot more mixed in, meaning that fresh water is closer to quote-unquote purer water. So is it... Yeah, salt. And it's... And honestly, there are way more stories about water spirits, like on the shore of the rivers, at a clean spring. There's also like Kelpie, but that is a whole different thing. I mean, yeah, Kelpies are basically just kidnapping seaweed horses, or, well, kelp horses. Sorry. The most famous usage in most versions of fiction when it comes to water spirits is the Undine, and that is probably a name that everyone here has heard at least once. We are just water sex that walk around. Hey Cortez, what is your favorite element, if I may ask? I mean, I will accept fire as a favorite as long as you didn't say earth. But what do we think would be a general build of a water elemental? What do you think the general build of a water elemental is? Because, like I said, I do think like air is gonna have the lowest BMI, so they are definitely gonna be most of the time the most skinniest. I think that. Hmm? Yeah, I'm just saying what I think so far. For I would say that water can also kind of steer into the green. Okay. Pure water is no color, but so is air. Wet. No, do not start that one. That water is not wet. That it's. I know that entire meme out of heart, and I'm just gonna say no to that one. God damn it. Teal. Yeah, teal is a good watercolor for ice, but what I do think, on average, of course there's gonna be outliers, I think that water is gonna, on average, have the longest hair. Okay. Oh, curls. Yeah. I was also gonna say a wavy hair. Yeah. And also, rivers are never straight. Okay, so. Oh. Yeah. But to answer your question, Cortez, plants are their own separate things. They are basically plantkin. They're their own separate thing. But if I would say they are closest related to the earth elementals. All right. So long wavy hair. We agree upon that. Do you think that the average skin color is consistent when it comes to water elementals? Really? I was gonna Sorry, what was that sneeze? You get Avatar Korra. Okay. If they are freshwater ones, I actually think they are going to be the second palest ones. Yeah, there's all. Yeah, are they going to be human skin color or would they be more like bluish? Yeah. Yeah. I was just gonna ask if there is gonna be consistency, and if they were, do you think it would be like human skin? Hmm? I can see both aspects. Yeah. Sure. Cortez, feel free to join. Yes. Okay, so okay. There actually reminds me of a stupid meme from Legend of Korra. If you're a waterbender, why are you white? Korra, oh my god, you can't just ask people why they're white. I'm not sure. I think because the swamp benders are just white or something. Like, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, okay, so I do kind of want to make my argument of if we're doing consistent skin colors. If it's human skin, I think they're going to be the second palest because most of the time they're going to be spending their time in the water. Two, not in the water, but if you are like if you are like the parts that are above the water because the sunlight also reflects back up. And a lot of that is actually one of the other examples. A lot of examples of water users have been very pale. Farina is very pale. Juvia is extremely pale. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Argument for non-human skins, why I still think they are going to be the most light. They would definitely have bluer, but why I do think that I can see fire. Ooh. Allergies are a thing, motherfucker. But guys, can I make my argument for why I still think they would be kind of pale-skinned with water? Because one, I do think that besides air, they would let through the most light, making them also appear lighter. And it is water on its own also tends to be very light color, if not colorless. Plus, a cool, unless it's like a very deep blue. Like Vaporeon. Yeah. Yeah, that's also my kind of headcanon. Okay. I can see fire. Yeah, but I can definitely. I honestly think that while Earth is more darker brown because of earth color, soil, and minerals. Yeah, I do think that fire would be more of a tanned skin because their fire would definitely cause them to 10 faster, but... Okay, so just since we are still talking about water, what do you think would be kind of the scale of element attunements that we can imagine? And would they have like webbed feet or not? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're not talking about culture and hierarchy yet. I'm just talking about how water are they when they get more attuned to it. Okay, I that is fair. I can agree with Cortez that transparency, in a literal sense, is a good visual indicator for someone's tier of attunement. Oh, guys, I just thought of something stupid. So, you know how I suggested like long wavy hair as the average for water elementals? They would have an afro when they're carbonated. Sure. Earth. It goes moist, solid, spicy. Hey, we didn't have hard. Yeah, we're not dealing with ether. We we can have an honorary mention. That would be more like storm. But we can definitely dabble into a subspecies, because I'm gonna say a subspecies of water would definitely be an ice elemental. Mist. Nah, smoke is more fire. Yeah. No, that is steam. Smoke is actually just solid particles that aren't fully burned up. That is steam. Like I said, smoke is specifically the solid particles that aren't fully burned up. Yeah, potentially, but we'll get to subspecies later, but let's go to the worst elemental, Earth. It is my least favorite element of the bunch. It is the one that... That's because I didn't really had a ground type elementalist yet, but in general, Earth is my least favorite element. I will explain myself later, but let's continue with the waifus. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think if you go near the beach, ironically they would be lighter because of sand. Oh, yeah, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, I agree that they would. I do think that Earth would be the darkest, but we have to stop using the location as an argument because then we just keep going in circles. Oh, no worries. In that case, okay. Except, I'm okay. Uh, okay. So, what if we're talking about average build? I do think they would be like the broadest, like closest to those old Venus statuettes. You know, the ones I'm talking about, like massive hips. I While I do think that on average the fire is ironically going to be the smallest ones, I do think that the Earth has the potential to be the shortest ones because out of the four elemental spears used in alchemy, the Earth one is the gnome. Oh, so, honestly, I do think it would be kind of in reverse because in the desert you would need like a little bit more width so you don't sink in the sand. And and with yeah, I mean it makes sense when it comes to elemental. Yeah, so I yeah yeah. So if we're kind of just willing down purely to the elements, I don't think we actually have to pay that much attention to location itself. I do think that the general build is mostly defined by the element itself. Like, yeah, and we only have limited time. Oh, yeah, we are still on Earth. I hate that I agree with that because I love that stereotype. Ooh. Mm-hmm. You know what? That is a good argument. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know what? We can chalk up subspecies with the location with subspecies, so we can do those at the end of each section. Okay, so what I do think some prevalent uh, Earth subspecies would be the sand one for desert, the gem one yeah, the gem one specifically then for like mountains and deep underground, but the main one would be more like soil and kind of yeah. All right. I kind of like something that Sneeze mentioned. Like, what I can now imagine with Earth elementals, they start off like the dwarf race, but the older they get, they have the biggest growth limit. Because, yes, they are growers, not showers. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I know another subspecies of Earth elementals that I could have easily put in the slideshow. Any character from Steven Universe. I am annoyed I did not think of those earlier. Yes, it. Amethyst is Earthburn. Yeah, but I would say, yeah, 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm just saying it makes sense in this topic. Yes, the Muli Caliente ones. Okay, okay. So what I think of, I was gonna say the same. I was I was gonna agree with that. Like, if we're using it on human skin tone, then yes, I think they would be the tanned ones. I do think that Shadow the Hedgehog would love them. Hey, I don't give a fuck. Okay, so I, while I was gonna, I was, yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna suggest Earth being the most muscular, but it kind of makes sense that they are also the most stocky. So I think, on average, yeah, I do think that's petite. I'm more gonna put on air. Yeah, but they also. Uh, okay, fair enough. Okay, so we can agree that because of the Second Amendment, fire elementals are American. Guys? You know what? I do... Nah, Texas is own identity. Okay. I... I thought we were... Guys, hold up. I don't think we're gonna put a Florida elemental here because we did say we're not gonna do radioactive. How would you else explain... How else would you explain the Florida men? Okay. I was trying to get a word in, but we kinda... Okay, so... while we do agree that they are the most athletic ones, height-wise, I do think that on average they stay the shortest. Just compared to the other elements. Okay. They can get big, but they do consume a... I do think they also consume a lot for their size. Like... I was actually going to say they would be the shonen protagonist. No. When I say the shonen protagonist, I just mean they eat a lot for their size. You're saying Torko does not eat a lot. Oh yeah. To be fair, but yeah, that is fair. But he's not the shonen part. He is basically the sidekick. He is also not the one that actually uses the calories. Fellas. Okay. So, what would you say would be some prevalent fire subspecies? Because I have a couple. Ooh. Which is fair. Now that is definitely... I actually have... three types of subspecies for fire. One of them includes lava. Okay, so I think the lava would be more like the Hawaiian Islands. Okay. Yeah. I mean, since we're kind of basing them around America, I'm just saying where I think subspecies would be. The second subspecies, I'm gonna call the sun type. They're more like the Aztec ones, like Southern America, Peru. Mm-hmm. I mean, there. What? What? Hey, hey, lava, lava. What? Want to know a kind of a messed up joke? So technically, there was a lava elemental in Moana who used to be an earth elemental to someone to basically rip their heart out. At least I. I mean, I was about to make an abortion joke, but never mind. Okay, and I do want to say the third subspecies I was thinking of, kind of moving it out of America because I just thought of something that kind of fit with the fire aesthetic and also with the fiery temperament. The shamrock subtype. Well, top of the morning to you, laddies. Yeah, because I did say on average they're going to be the shortest. Get fucking fire leprechauns. Let's go. Oh, no. I have more arguments for leprechaun fire elementals if you let me cook. But you go ahead. Sky, go. Sky, you go first, because I don't want to steal your train of thought. Mhm. Geyser, I would. Yeah, I think Geyser would be more like a hot spring subspecies, a warm water version of water elementals. Oh, because of volcanic activity. Okay. Okay. Uh, I am okay. Well, I don't see that as a subspecies uh, of fire elementals. I can definitely see like a phoenix-based magic system around Ash. Eh. Okay, so that because that is actually more like plant-based if you think of charcoal. But I want to know why what my argument is for leprechaun fire elementals. Okay, so we can all agree that the biggest top for fire elemental would be the fucking sun, right? Yep, your point. So is fire. But what is one of the things linked to a leprechaun? Okay, so I heard two things. One, gold is linked to the sun, and how is a rainbow formed? Yes. So I would say because of that light is because I did mention sun also being a sun subspecies, so potentially even light. I do think that that would be a fun subspecies for the fire elements that focus more about the brightness of flames. I mean, it's not the worst argument I've given. Your point. Yeah. Yeah, fine. Whoosh. Okay. Oh. Guys, hush for a second. Blackout has the air symbol, so he can have the opening word. Except, well, lightest. Acceptable. I'm listening. Oh, that's because they are cloud. Those are clouds. So I do see where you're coming from. I would consider those storm. Acceptable. I do think. Oh. Uh huh. Yeah. America. Yeah, India, definitely. Yeah. So they would definitely be more like the cottage core life. I do think on average they would have uh, more like curly hair. Yeah. Well, there are big plains of grass, yeah. Yeah. Okay, is there anything specific? Okay, there's actually something I just realized. Out of all the elements, I can't think of any like origin stories regarding air. Fire has Prometheus. There's a lot of stories about life coming from the ocean. There's a lot of stories about life being put into like clay structures. Eh, I would vote for water. That is fair. Yeah, I'm not talking about gods themselves. I'm talking about like origins of life stories. I can see, you know what? Yeah, I can definitely see them being full of themselves because there's a lot of puns you can make there. That's one of them. Ah, yeah. Fire's gonna be the most stubborn. Someone had to make the joke. Huh. Oh. Oh. I mean, I do remember. I was thinking it was with an O, not a U. Hmm. Yeah, we haven't. We can talk about how they interact with each other in the culture bit. That is not necessarily nurturing, but okay. Uh, yeah. Uh, oh, there's. And they always need to be. Yeah. Actually, never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say, but okay. So we kind of skipped something with the last two elements. Uh, what is there gonna be more of with their tiers of attunement? Like with fire, we kind of said it at the beginning. Like eyes start glowing, hair starts burning, they just start to glow. Horniness. Yeah, exactly. Like, God forbid you run into a blue fire elemental. Behold! Oh God! With how pale the Irish are, they are just albino fire elementals. That is. It is a cool concept. Uh, every fire is a chemical thing. Okay. Okay. So you do know that fire is just the definition of a chemical reaction, right? So every fire is a chemical thing. It. Okay. Does it use oxygen? Okay, 1 second. I'm googling this now. So how is this not a chemical thing? Just because it is natural doesn't mean it's not chemical. Okay, at this point I think you need to give me a source real quick, because I'm gonna look this up. Wait. Hold up. When you say black fire, do you mean the wavy pattern the air has because of the heat? Okay, in that case, give me a fucking link. Yeah, okay. Title that motherfucker. I will quote my science professor if I have to. But yeah, okay. So, but back. All right. In that case, ladies, let's go back to our air elemental because I just wanted to bring up the tiers of attunement because we skipped the fire one. What would be the tier of attunements with air? Because what I can imagine, their hair would they would start off with like normal colored hair depending on where they're born, but they would definitely lose that color and almost start becoming translucent, like yeah, like what's that stuff called? Not glass fiber, no, angel hair. Wait, would they actually wear normal clothes, or would they just make their own clothes, or well, manipulate their elements into their clothes? Yes, we're definitely. Uh, I don't need to whip out the furry skill for this one, but uh-huh. You know what? I do think that out of all the elements, fire is the first one to learn how to make clothes out of their element. Out of necessity. Um. Okay, what would be the subspecies? I would nominate the storm. Yeah, a storm subspecies. That is fire. Okay. Ah. Okay. Okay. So, uh, there's actually something I do think would make sense for air elements. Now that I think about it, if uh, if Earth kind of starts off like dwarfish, I can actually see air being more built like elves. Because even the pointy ears kind of help with aerodynamics. Yeah. Yeah, fairies would make sense, but I'm just talking that if we're kind of since we're kind of more hybridizing them. Yeah, fae, elfish. Yeah, until they reach their attunement age. Yeah, I really like the term attunement for them though. Ooh, okay. Uh, well, yes, and, I do have one question for all of the species. Is a group of elemental just called the same thing based on the element, or do you think each element has their own group name? Okay, I want to suggest the one for water. A puddle. Yeah, a puddle of elementals. Ooh. Potential. A herd. Oh. Okay, I can see a pocket of elementals. Okay, a Kindle. I'm just trying to think. A Kindle. Ooh, I do like that one, a quarry. Mm, oh wait, okay, let's see. Oh, I know another one for potentially for fire. An oven of elementals. Okay. All right. Oh, sorry, an arsenal. I forgot they're American. That actually doesn't sound bad. Okay, uh, I'm not the biggest fan of combustion. I do like a Kindle. Uh, yeah, Quarry was great. Pocket was amazing from Blackout. I like yeah, I think Quarry is better. Yeah, I I kind of like. I honestly like. Oh wait, yeah, that could be like a bigger group, like how a flood is just an upgraded version of a puddle. I personally like puddle the most. Okay, so let's dabble into a culture. Uh, oh, that's more of an air. Yeah. 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 Humanoid, yeah. Oh, wait. D- their awakening. Ah, okay. Uh, there probably is like, there's probably like for some, like how puberty works for humans. Some people you can see them grow gradually, but and with some it's just like, how the fuck are you suddenly bigger than me? I saw you last week. Okay. Uh, I do have a. Since we did say that air is going to be the most common or the most widespread, uh, what do you think? Yeah, yeah. So while I do think that air elementals are the most widespread, I don't think their communities would be the biggest because they would require the most movement because they would like to move around a lot, I assume. Yeah. So, uh, how big would you say, on average, a air pocket would be? Like, so you would say a pocket is just a singular family. Hmm. If if they're roaming, so you say a pocket is just a singular family. I was gonna say like small groups of up to like 10, maybe 15, but saying just referring to a family as a pocket does also kind of make sense. So I'm willing to actually just accept that. I just realized Cortez is gone. I do think that they would actually like to group up because I can see them be. I was actually gonna say because I can definitely see them having competitive tendencies, so they would like to compete against each other. Cause uh huh. Okay, but they would like to grow their own community, quote unquote. Okay. Yeah. That is actually, it is dependent on the biome, but often than not, it is just burning vegetative matter into straight nutrients. So it is very good for recovery. But yeah, I do agree that a fire is surprisingly life-giving compared to how destructive it is. Yeah, yeah. I do think they would get along the best with. I, yeah, yeah. But you said, but you did mention on their own. So I was just gonna name an outlier. But size-wise, I do think they would just make their own settlements and cities. So they are definitely kind of like small towns. I'm gonna say. Like small. When is it? Wait, when is something called a town and when is something called a village again? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Because then I do think they will be on village level. Yeah, yeah. Uh, oh, I just thought of it. Just because of a joke I made earlier, I thought of another name for fire elementals. Because I was gonna make them American because firearms and the Second Amendment, so you might as well call fire elementals a chamber. Okay. Hmm. I Since they are kind of stuck here and they are growers, I do think they are. Yes, I'm gonna say definitely smaller than a chamber, but since a pocket is like just a singular family, definitely bigger than a pocket. I'm gonna say uh, a chamber. I'm gonna say like village size, so less than 1,000. That I'm gonna say in the 200s, low hundreds. I accept those terms. Yeah, you're talking about a population size. Yeah, I can. When I when yeah yeah no actually I can see where he's coming from. For Earth, I can see like tribe size. Yeah, below 100. I can definitely see that for our quarries. Yeah, yeah. I would say that water would. Do you think water would be more or less populated than a chamber of fire? Hmm. That is. Oh God, was it just a chamber bukake? Well, I actually do think that because of how human built their civilization, they really stuck around water shore. So I do think that water elementals could have a dense pop. Honestly, ironically, I think they would take up less space, but I do think they would be. Oh. Sorry, what are you talking about, Sneeze? Ah. Sorry. But I do think that water elementals would take up less space, but they just would be more densely packed, closer to the shore. Like I said, I still think they would mostly be found around fresh water, though. Fair. Okay, yeah, fair point. True. I was the first one to suggest that one during subspecies. Yeah, like mist. I would refer to the steam ones as the mist elementals. Just so we have a liquid, a solid, and a gas. Okay. Before we start another 100-year wars because of the Avatar, let's start with their relationship between non-elementals, because I think that's going to be a lot less hostile. Volatile. Ironically, I do think that in cities the fire ones would thrive the most. Definitely during the Industrial Revolution. But which is fair. Okay, but I do think that we could kind of elaborate on that because it seems a little bit shallow if we just say, you good if you're not an asshole. Oh. On. Okay. Unless it is inside of an elemental. Hey, could you perhaps pop this pore for me? Yeah, that's bad. I mean, I can actually see an argument. Because sometimes a earth elemental might... let's say an earth elemental grows a little too big for their size, and she might want to trim a little bit off the edges. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Uh, I actually have a couple things. I think that air is going to be like besties with harpies. Both because, one, they fly, two, the personality wise do kind of match, because sure, air might be a little bit egotistical, but harpies are kind of just also a very nomadic species. Uh, you're a selfish asshole? I'm a selfish asshole! I kidnapped my husband for like. I. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Uh, what race do you. Let's see. A puddle of elements would definitely go well with. I was definitely gonna say mermaids, but I was also potentially thinking with like fishermen, because they would definitely help with like the with potentially fish harvest and such, making sure that population stays in check. Yeah, not yeah. Yeah, we had multiple species of merfolk and mermaids, but we just used mermaids as a catch-all term. Let's see. Fire would probably be decent with like fire giants. Demons, they would, and demons and devils, they would also kind of vibe with. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a demon for everything. But we kind of settled with devils for like the infernal. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any fun relations. I do think that's with. Do you think Earth elementals would vibe with dwarves or be more like uh, rivals for the same resources? I do like the irony. Yeah, because I do think that plant biologically, uh, because oh, mm, depends on it depends on who made the golem and its purpose. Like, I mean, I actually can see them liking the golems a lot more because it is made. Uh, it is purely made out of their element. It is not polluted, and once the golem actually gets destroyed, it does, and this is stated in multiple sources, it returns to the source. So I do think they tolerate golems. That is fair. But I do think they are a lot more tolerant to golems than to dwarves. Yeah, like they don't hate. I think they would hate dwarves, tolerate golems, like. Yeah, but something we kind of established because we didn't really. We tried to make plans in the beginning more scientifically, and the angle I was trying to vote for was instead of them actually being like actually plants, they would be actually more like shapeshifters slash mimics trying to kind of like how octopuses change their texture. Yeah, we haven't. So I'm gonna say that plant folk are either a subspecies of elemental or a subspecies of shapeshifter. I'm gonna put arguments once we get to the mimic episode. What would... I'm trying to think, like, now we have a negative and a positive for Earth. Yeah. Okay. I think they would definitely be good. On the positive note, devils. Alright, thanks for showing up, Sneeze. Have a nice sleep. Scientifically, wrong, because it is very hot. Anyways, okay, what... Besides water elementals, I'm trying to think what would... Fair. You know, I'm just trying to think for fire what would be on the negative side. Yeah, definitely mermaids. Ah, bloody hell, I have to go Irish. Yeah, that's true. Plant Kid would definitely hate their bollocks. Also, oh wait, Faye would hate both the earth and the fire, because earth is where all the metal is. Well, Sneeze told me to go Irish for 5 minutes, so I'm going to go Irish for 5 minutes. Well, feel free to join me, laddie. Join me, you leprechaun. I know you want to. Harlot. Anyways, yeah, sorry. So now that we kind of established how they, generally, okay, so we can agree that fire is the least agreeable upon the non-elementals. Air would be the, would you say air or earth would be the most agreeable, or perhaps water? Fair enough. I was gonna vote for water because, once again, I am fucking biased, but I am willing to settle for Earth being the most agreeable of the elementals. That just seems a little too easy, but... You know what? That would make it indeed simple, but let's go from left to right, so starting with air. Okay, and how would he actually react with water? Because I kind of want to say... Yeah, I would actually say that water would try to avoid them. Not negatively, not positively, just ignore them. Alright, what about fire? Alright, but how would you describe the relation between earth and fire? I actually know something fun between Earth and Fire potentially. Out of all the elements, I do think that they would have the biggest trade relations. Yes, but I do think that just the most economy would be between those two, especially. Well, it's mostly that fire hates water. Yeah, but anyways, what do you think about, because the dark badge kind of looks the most like Earth. Sky, what would you say? Haha, suck it, Sky. Anyways, but what do you think the relationship from the Earth standpoint would be? Hmm. Yeah. Uh, but oh, sorry. I know. I also noted that I can now go back to common. Okay, so I actually think that with water, the dynamics from their perspective would be a little bit different. I do think that while there are good relationships between Earth and water, I do think that Earth and water would be the biggest competitors for both territory and just how things are run, because flooding, droughts. Yeah, we would. I would. Well, I would say we have the most territorial disputes, at least. Like, alright, that is my country. No, that rock belongs to me. But I do think that we don't really interact a lot with air, so they're just kind of, eh, yeah. While I try not to make it the easy answer, I have, I have to put down the, uh, yeah. I'm trying to say I'm gonna try and keep it simple. I'm just saying I don't want to, but I have no choice here. I will have to agree that they probably will get along the least with fire. Yes. Fair. I mean, that is, on the one side, that is fair. But, like, we just basically go our own way, they go their way. I mean, technically, the entire cycle is using all the elements. The heat of the fire heats up the water, so I go up into the sky, then I sink into the earth, and it comes back to the ocean. Meaning I am inside of all the elements. Mhm. I think both an age and, of course, a training. For example, some people. Oh, I think Earth is going to be able to become the oldest. Followed. Yeah, I do think Fire would relatively be the. Would die the youngest. I would. I'm actually kind of debating because uh, I can see water being the second oldest, but I can also accept air. Oh, wait, do you think that water elementals actually have more of a reincarnation cycle in that case? Okay, I actually... Yeah, okay, that's a setting question. Which we sometimes do, we sometimes don't. Okay, I actually do have something I would state would make sense for a hierarchy in a puddle of elementals. The older they are, the further away from shore they live. I know what's that. So, I think we should ask the question about general and waifu interest. Shall we? Shall we go from right to left this time? Okay, so for me, general interest in water, mostly also because of personal reasons. Oh, I can do it very fast. Water elementals, very high. I'm gonna say 9 on general. I'm gonna say 7 on waifu. Earth, general, I'm gonna give it a 3. Waifu, honestly a 6, because they probably have the most variation in texture. Fire, general, I'm gonna say 7. Waifu, I do not want burns, so I'm gonna go with a 4. There's not enough ointment in the Netherlands. Also, I'm not as much of a gun lover as the Americans, so I know what I said. I know what I said! I'm also below the sea level, so I know what I like. Air, I'm gonna go general, 6, waifu, 7. Mm-hmm. Okay, acceptable. Okay, balanced. I was expecting that to be higher because your name is Sky. Also, also fair. He did wit. He just didn't. He hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't done moisture and spice. Nice. Hey! Masochist! I should have made a 4th of July joke. I assumed as much. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Ah. Acceptable. Okay. Okay. Wait, for what element is that? Ah. Ah, not a fan of the bread? Yeah, just asking. Some people like bread, some people don't. Yeah, understandable, like I said. To each their own. Some people like them, some people don't. Small question. Should I still explain why Earth is my least favorite element? Okay. So, in that case, before I ask the title question, any suggestions of what we'll do next time? Oh, yeah. The Shapeshifter episode. Let's go! We'll see that after next episode. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary hoes, would you waifu an elemental? 3 out of 4, yes. Anyways, you know what I think about Earth? I'm not! I'm just saying, the majority of them, yes. In that case, yes, and but while I'm setting up a raid, Sky, Lava, would you like to say anything to the chat while you're here, since you're not normally here? Ah. Alrighty. Cool. Make sure to give these two a follow. I would say the same for Black Hat, but he doesn't really stream on his own. So, we're gonna raid into one of my favorite bald British people, Accident.